Hey, what to do, everybody? It's your boy Tito, man. Come back to you guys today with another video, man. So, I want to just talk to you guys. Obviously, it's going to be a word of encouragement in there, but just want to talk to you guys about the topic is you don't know nothing. Let me repeat that one more time. You don't know nothing. Those were the exact words, verbatim, word for word. Maybe not with the emphasis. Okay, we got emergency personnel. Let's let them go by. You don't know nothing. Those were the exact words that were spoken over to me by one of my math teachers, my 9th grade year in high school. And I had been accustomed to getting A's and B's throughout the course of my time in grade school up until my 9th grade year, because that was the expectation in the household that I lived in by my mother. You know, she was a single parent home, raised me in a single parent home, and all she had was a high school education, but she put a hard emphasis on getting my education. However, my 9th grade year, like a lot of young people, teenagers, trying to figure out life, trying to figure out your space in this society and how everything works. And I remember my 9th grade year, just with everything that was going on with just the identity of not having a father present in the household and kind of trying to find in your place. Do you want to be a leader? Do you want to be a follower? And for the first time over the course of my life in grade school, I allowed my grades to slip. And I'll never forget, I had Algebra 1, and that was the math lesson that I had. And so the very first 9 weeks, I ended up pulling off a C, but I never forget the second part of the 9 weeks. Man, it was just like the various lessons that the math teacher was teaching, man, they just weren't hit home. It wasn't a lack of effort on my part, but it was a lot of distractions in the class because a lot of people, just weren't interested in school. I didn't go to no private school. I didn't go to the best of school. I went to a hood school. Let's keep it 100. So I think the only fault that I play in me not succeeding that second 9 weeks was me not telling my mom I needed extra help. I needed additional tutoring because the lessons that the teacher was teaching just wasn't hitting home, and the difficulty level had it far exceeded what I had experienced in the first 9 weeks. And the long story short, ended up getting the first and only F of my whole entire life. Even going back to my time in college, like the first and only F I had ever got. And at the time, I was on the basketball team, and I remember my mama, she ripped me off that basketball team, man, like it was nobody's business. And she told me until I got my grades in order that I would never play another sport ever again if I didn't. And so I obviously had to retake that class, and then I tried to retake it the very next spring semester, but there was no room for me in class. And I never forget, I ended up having to do 9 night shift classes for math. And I just remember the night shift teacher just saying some very detrimental things, having a very negative mindset towards the people who were retaking, because pretty much everybody who was in night shift had failed the class. So I remember one particular time, it's probably like my third night on night shift, and pretty much in night shift it wasn't like normal school where the teacher would give you the lesson, then they would probably answer any questions you had, then they gave you the assignment. During the course of the assignment, at that point in time, they'll come and ask any questions that you may have. Night shift was different. One, they didn't give you a lesson, and then two, they just gave you the work, and three, they weren't answering any questions that you might have had in the course of trying to complete your work. So essentially, you were all on your own. Like, that night shift teacher was essentially there just to get a paycheck. But with myself and all of the other students, the handful of other, and I think I was the only boy in there, but it was like, I think about 4 or 5 other young ladies in the time in the class with me, man. But I just remember that night shift teacher, man. She was a piece of work. Let's just say that, man. And I remember trying to ask her a question because it was just one part of kind of knew how to work the first part of the problem, but then when it came time to, kind of do the other aspects of the problem to get the correct answer, man, I just didn't know it. I just wasn't comprehending. I remember asking her a question, and she didn't willingly oblige, but eventually she obliged to my request, and she began to, what I thought, help me work through the problem. And I remember like asking a question towards the beginning of the problem to how to get to the next step, and she had already been negative that whole entire time, and we had to do like an hour and a half. And so I just remember her looking at me right in my eyes. She was like, "You don't know nothing. You ain't gonna never be nothing. All y'all in here." And then she started spazzing on the class about how we ain't be nothing, know nothing, shouldn't even be in there with her or whatever. And I never forget, I took those words to heart, man. I was hurt because, one, she looked like me, in skin tone. She had the skin tone that I had. And, you should be there trying to help me, to speak life into me, to pick me up. And obviously I'm not in a position where I'm enjoying my failure, but I'm trying to better myself. I could have just literally took the F that I got and said, forget school, but I stuck it in. I'm trying to, get my education together. But let me tell you what happened when she spoke those words over me. It hurt like hell. I went home, I ain't say nothing to my mama or whatever when she came to pick me up. But by the grace of God, I took those words for her saying, "You don't know nothing, you ain't gonna never be nothing." And they became my motivation. So if it was not for the words that she spoke over me and spoke over those other young ladies in that class that night, I would never have had the turnaround in my mindset, my outlook, and in my grades. And obviously, if I didn't have the grades, my mama wasn't going to let me play football or any sport. But I would have never ended up going to college because she spoke words of death over me as opposed to speaking words of light or encouragement over me and those young ladies. And I wasn't personal friends with none of those young ladies, so I don't know where they ended up in life or what the significance of the words that the lady spoke over all of us. Prayerfully, hopefully they were able to overcome those words. But man, those words hit home. But this is the word of encouragement. Sometimes in the midst of the pain of the words and things that people have spoken over you or done to you directly, you in that moment become a victim. But your mindset, your outlook, and the choice that you make to get up from your bed of despair, to get up from your pile of tears, move forward, to go forward, and ultimately utilize the words or the things that people have spoken or done towards you or did to you directly. You have to utilize that for your benefit. You have to utilize that to ensure that you stay motivated to do and accomplish all that you set out in your mind, your body, and your heart, and to take advantage of the gift of life, to live in the present, to see a better day, and to put yourself in a position where at some point in time, when you're faced with a the same or similar situation where you have the opportunity to speak life and light over someone else's life, that you'll speak life and you won't utilize your tongue to speak death. Because when life happens and things affect us directly, as long as we're able to make it through, we're able to get the lesson, grow from the lesson, and learn from the lesson. Eventually, the creator, the universe, is going to bring somebody or group of people, a whole bunch of people along your path in life who are going to face the same exact or similar situations that you made it out of, that you learned from, that you grew from. And you're going to be able to speak. You're going to be able to help them because you got that personal experience of overcoming. You got that personal experience of that particular situation or those words that were spoken over to you or that thing that was done to you. So, man, keep going, y'all. Stay in the fight. Stay encouraged. Don't give up. Don't lose hope in your darkest hours, when the world has beat you up, when you're feeling low, when you feel like you can't go on, when it hurts and it cuts you to the core of your physical body, your mental health, and your physical health. Keep going. Don't lose hope. Don't allow someone's perception or opinion of you to become your reality. You, along with the creator, are the author and finisher of your fate. You determine, not other people. You determine your ability to succeed in this thing we call life. And there's absolutely nothing that you put your physical mind, heart, body, soul, and spirit to, and your sheer fire will to, that you can't overcome, that you can't make it through, and that you can't accomplish, man. You made of the right stuff. You got the good stuff in you, baby. So, hey, hope that this word of encouragement serves just as that, as inspiration, as motivation, as elevation, as aspiration for your mind, your body, your soul, and your spirit. Keep going. Stay in the fight. Never ever give up. Keep doing good. Don't get weary. Never ever give up, man. Love on you, because if you don't love on you, nobody else will, man. And guess what? You know something. You don't know nothing is a lie from the pit of the hell, or pit of hell, as my mama would say. But you know something. You made of the right stuff, man. It's your boy Tito. Good day. God bless.